Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Allee Cyrus and I am so excited to talk with you guys today about how to build your dream life, aka getting back on track when you're going in that direction. I feel like a lot of the times people talk about goals and we talk about things that we want to do and how to visualize where we're going, but realistically, when you're on your way, it's really easy to fall off track, and there are pretty easy systems that I have in place that I want to share with you that can help you get back on track, kind of like know when you're off track, right? So let's get into it. So when you're on your way, realistically, it is great to see the end goal. The big, beautiful end goal that you're moving toward is often really clear, but it's actually like the in between where you're able to become the person you're supposed to be, you're able to overcome things, you're able to understand your character better, right? So the process is the blessing, right? It's not just the destination, and I want you to remember that. But when we are on our way, we easily can fall off course. That's just part of the process, right? And so I really love a good reset that can help me feel like myself, feel like I'm back at base zero, so that I don't throw a whole week away or a whole month away. I feel like in the past with me and with other people I've worked with, I've noticed that once you feel off on one thing, you're like, oh, forget it. And you can just kind of veer off track, when realistically, when you have a good set of indicators that tell you that you're off track, then you can go into your reset process and then again, get back on track, get back where you're going. We have a very all or nothing society mentality. For you, you really just need to be focused on getting 1% better every single day, realistically, getting on track and staying on track over time in order to get where you want to go. You don't have to overcomplicate it. It really is just day in and day out being consistent and moving toward, again, that big goal that you have defined for the future, okay? So let's talk about 10 different things that I see that helps me understand oh, I might be falling a little bit off track and I probably am ready for a reset. One, your brain feels foggy. It happens to all of us, but it can happen for many different things. But if you feel like you just can't focus, if you feel exhausted, if you feel like you can't seem to pinpoint where you want to go, that's often an indicator. Two, your thoughts are negative, and you feel like you often end up in a negative headspace no matter what you're doing or what's going right or wrong throughout the day. Three, you are not prioritizing your health spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. You're just not showing up for it. Four, this one's really big. You're living for other people's approval. We don't want to do that. It doesn't work in the long run anyway. When you're people pleasing and you feel yourself kind of feeling that ick that comes with people pleasing, that's a big indicator. Five, your mental health feels unstable, or you just overarchingly feel unstable. You don't feel like you're moving in the way that you used to. You don't feel like you're showing up in the way that you used to. Six, you keep finding yourself making the same mistake. It's really easy to just spiral and kind of do the same thing over and over. So having the foresight to understand that you're doing that is really key. Seven, you have no work-life balance, which we never want that ever. Eight, you are constantly comparing yourself to others. If it feels unhealthy to scroll through Instagram, or if someone tells you that something good is happening in their life and you are happy for them, but you're also sad for yourself, that's totally normal. But that is something that I want you to pay attention to. Nine, you've lost interest in what you're building toward, into what makes you happy, into showing up in life the way that you usually do. 10, you feel like you need to develop different parts of yourself. You feel like you need to change. That's often a huge indicator that a reset needs to happen. And we're always growing, obviously, but if you feel like you're missing something, or that you can't be enough, or you're the issue, and you're getting really critical of yourself, that's often a huge indicator. So once we've talked through those, I think the list could go on. I just gave you 10 examples. What I've realized is when they happen, I need to get ahead and really get reset, get rested, get into a flow again. Whatever that could be for you is really up to you, right? Think about your habits, think about how you show up. You can add and expand on that list, but what I want you to understand is it's important to be able to identify those tendencies, circumstances, and habits, because they're the beginning of us, again, going in a direction that we might not want to go. This really, really helped me and truly changed my brain and the way that I see things when I realized this. There are 3 building blocks to actions in your life and like how we're able to build over time. And those are 1, actions. Like obviously the action that you take day in and day out, you breathing, you checking that box, you writing out the to-do list, you ticking things off of the to-do list. Like that's great. Actions over time that you're committed to create your habits, right? And then your habits, if you show me your habits, I actually can tell you who you're gonna be in 80 years, usually, unless you're changing and you're always growing. And obviously we always wanna be doing that. But I want you to understand that like today's actions actually become tomorrow's habits, which actually build your life. And so if we're able to really pay attention to the 10 things that I just outlined that may be good indicators that you need to reset, the reason why is because those actions actually manifest into bigger habits, which can really get us off course or on course. So we have to be really thoughtful in the day to day, in our hour by hour, to figure out what needs to happen so that we're able to go in the direction we really want to go. So there are 5 specific things that I look to. These are the things that feel like my cornerstone, if that makes sense. So this is what, you know, my house gets to be built on. This is where I get to kind of like come back to over and over again. And I want to encourage you, this is true for me. There may be additional things for you too. So you can always add to this list. But again, this is a great way to get started. The first thing is giving yourself grace to understand that life is actually built off of a lot of small moments. Your life is a collective of many small moments, many small decisions, many changes from the way that maybe your parents acted to how you're gonna act, to maybe if you wanna have kids, you'll parent your kids and how they'll eventually act, right? It's a lot of really small things, which is really empowering. I think sometimes it feels like life is just happening to us, and I just want you to understand, like, no. Sometimes things are happening and they're out of our control, but you have a lot of really small moments that you get to make choices in, and that literally creates the trajectory of your life. So I want you to feel empowered with that. 2, this one took me a long time to understand, you guys, but there's so much power in movement and exercise. Moving your body is incredible. You don't have to go to the Olympics to be an athlete and like that be viable. I feel like I'm such an all or nothing person that I was like, working out is cool, but why would I do that if I'm not going to be the best at it? Movement gives you endorphins. It allows you to clear your head. It allows you to regulate your blood sugar. When you are in a funk, that is a really easy way to get out of it, by just moving, by just going for a walk. 3, and this is so important because everyone talks about it, but it's actually a lot more nuanced for some people than others. Finances, stewarding your money. These are actions and habits that we're going through that are going to set you up for, again, the direction of life that you want. Finances are so important in that. And a lot of people don't actually talk about how you can manage finances well and what that looks like and what a good budget is. But understanding that spending your money, like, it's powerful. You are investing in things that you need. You're investing in companies that you believe in. Saving and spending and investing, all of that works together to create a really amazing future. It can feel overwhelming when you're at square 0 or square 10, as opposed to like Warren Buffett and like, you know, the billionaires of the world. But just understand that that stewardship is really empowering for you. It's a great way to create actions and habits to really, again, manifest into the direction that you want to go over time. 4, this one is so important, letting go. Okay, things are gonna go great and things are gonna suck sometimes, and that is life. And I want you to understand that you are so empowered to let things go. Don't let stuff sit on you. Don't let things own you as best as you can. Just allow yourself to understand that like letting things go is sometimes the best way to move through. That action in itself is very productive. And then the last one, and I would say this one, when it comes to actions and habits, is probably the most important in my mind. It's discipline. Understanding that like the people who win are just the people who don't quit. It's that simple. And it's also that complicated, because finding discipline and being disciplined, even when motivation leaves and is so fleeting, is a really hard thing. But the more you're able to lean in and become disciplined, the more you're going to be able to grow into the person that you were created to be. And that's really all that the actions, the habits, and then the life as you know it is about, right? It's about you becoming who God created you to be. So to end this video really strong, I actually want to give you a direction on how you can create a weekly reset if you're feeling like you're off the rails, if you feel like you're getting lost or you've been lost or I'm so off track, Allie, like there's no way I can get back. That's not true. I understand your feelings, but it's actually a lot easier to go in the direction that you want than you realize. Sometimes we just need a happy little weekly reset. This is the one that I use. This may be something that you add upon, you may take some of the things away, but I want you to have a structure to understand the way that I do it, because this has helped me so much. You guys, I am very disciplined, and oh my gosh, it's so easy for me to go off the rails. I am like a train going off into the desert sometimes. I'm actually like sick this week, and it's so funny, the last 3 weeks I've been so on top of it. And now I am sick and I can feel myself like I'm behind. I don't know about this. Like, what if I can't make it up, right? So I already can tell, oh, I just need to heal and then apply my weekly reset next week and I'm gonna feel completely and totally fine. So again, just know that this is in your back pocket for times in your control and out of your control that you need to get back on track. This is really important for business owners, high achievers, anyone who's extremely ambitious. And some of the things on this list are not gonna make sense to you. I just need you to like buckle up. Just trust me, because it's actually the little things that make a very large difference. And a lot of it has to do with how we treat ourselves in our environment. So first and foremost, I want you to think through what you need to do for your environment to feel like restful and clean and like a really great slate that you can pop into and on day one, Monday, like feel really good. So what I do, I clean my room, clean the kitchen, kind of like clean all of the common areas in the house. I don't have kids yet. Everyone who has children, I know that it doesn't stay clean for very long, but it feels so nice to be able to see it clean and be able to just know like you walk in and feel refreshed. That's really a game changer for me. So that's the first thing. Second thing is I take care of my plants. I am a proud plant mom. I love them. Being able to take care of something outside of yourself is really helpful. So if you have a dog, plants, whatever that is, but just kind of like take care of what is not you and make sure that everything that needs you around you is taken care of. That's so helpful. 3, plan your week. So I will sit down, look at my calendar of the upcoming week, figure out if I need to add anything, prepare for anything, just get a full scope, and then I communicate that to my partner so he knows, and you know, if he has anything on his schedule that I need to know about, he's able to tell me. That is so helpful. It makes you feel really grounded and prepared. Then from there, I journal. So I just process any feelings that I have coming up. Once you're able to like clean your space, get everything reset, understand what's coming, then feelings actually come up. So if you're feeling anxious about it, or if you're feeling like ready, or if you want to avoid certain things, I found that journaling really helps me get what I'm feeling out. So it could be the same for you too. And then the last thing is, if I have extra time, I'll actually start to like get ahead on any kind of like work that's looming. There are often things I want to avoid, and if I want to avoid it, I probably need to do that first, realistically. If I need to send a proposal out, I'll pull it up on my laptop and like close the laptop down, so I know as soon as I open it on Monday morning, I know, oh, that's the thing I need to do, and I just kind of like remove the barriers that may be in front of me. So that's the first thing when it comes to setting up your environment. Then from there, for the whole week, what I do is I have 4 things that I do that all have to do with just taking care of myself. So 1, I move my body in some way every single day. To like just go for a walk around the block every single day, but get some movement in there because it's really, really helpful, like we talked about before. Shower. Dear God, I love to avoid showering, you guys. I literally, that's so gross, but whatever. I don't want to brush my hair and wash my hair. I don't know about you guys. I have long hair, so I want to avoid washing it, and obviously like we all have our own cadence for that, but I actually during reset weeks will wash my hair pretty much every other day. I shower at least in the morning, usually at night too. I'm like clean those weeks, and it really helps me. Obviously I shower like every day, other days too, but being able to just get ahead of it and make sure that I feel really clean when I wake up, before I do something, before I go to sleep. My hair feels really great. Everything is like tip-top condition. It really helps me to show up the way that I want to show up. And then skincare. So just taking care of my skin. I'm actually one of those psychos. I have washed my face probably every single day since I was 8 because of who my mother is. So I have never missed a face wash day. Do the serums, do the skincare. That is really helpful, obviously at night and in the morning, but I also put makeup on those days. It's like one of those psychological things, like look good, feel good, do good work. So I really recommend that as well. And this is the last part, so buckle up. You guys are doing great. I know that this one is a long one. It's winding down. So intentionally winding down and ending your day strong is really, really helpful. One, I always will take a bath or a shower once I get home from whatever I'm doing. From there, I put on cozy pajamas. Then from there, always read a book. So at least 20 minutes of reading, and I go to sleep before 10 p.m. Those 4 things always set me up for a better day the next day, keep me on track, and it really helps for, again, within that reset week, you getting into a rhythm that feels really life-giving, you feel rested, you feel taken care of. It's really easy to just take from yourself, but you have to be able to fill yourself up so that you can then actually lead from that place of overflow. So I hope that this was amazing. I hope that you feel empowered to understand that realistically, you don't always have to have it together, but you have the tools in your toolbox to get on track and be who you want to be no matter what the circumstance is. If you like this video, leave a comment below. Let me know if you want me to make any other specific videos for you. I love the feedback you guys are giving me, and I'm so appreciative of this community already. Thank you for your time, and I'm super excited to hear how your resets and overarchingly just how you get to your goals is going.